Students, in the previous video, I explained about what are the different types of supports. Now, in this video, I want to explain what are the different types of beams. As you can see in the heading now, the different types of beams. Now, I will discuss. The first one is called as a simply supported beam. The first one is called as a simply supported beam. When we can say the beam is simple supported means, suppose we think A and B are the starting and the end point of the beam. At A, we can see that simple support is there. At B also we have an simple support. If the beam is supported at A and B, that is starting and the end point, at both the ends if I have a simple support, then that type of beam is called as simply supported beam. And it is always represented by an arrow. Simple support is always represented by an arrow. The second type of beam is called as cantilever beam. So at A, the starting point of the beam is fixed and the other end is completely free. So if one end of the beam is fixed, the other end is free, then that type of beam is called as cantilever beam. Note this point. One end should be compulsory, it is fixed, other end should be free. Then we can say that beam as cantilever beam. Then the third category is called as propped cantilever beam. In a propped cantilever beam, the one end is fixed and the other end, either it can be a simple support or it can be a roller support. Both the possibilities are there. One end can be an simple support or it can be an roller support. In a propped cantilever, the one end should be fixed, the other end should be a simple support or it can be a roller support. In both the case, it is called as propped cantilever beam. In overhanging beams, as we can see here, there are two categories. One is called as a single overhang and then one more is called as double overhang. In single overhanging, is you can see in the diagram, the one end is hinged, other end is roller and the beam is extended. That means at C there is no support. So this is called as a single overhanging beam. The second diagram, you can easily see that after B the beam is extended, after C also the beam is extended, but there is no support at A and D, so it is called as double overhanging beam. So then the fourth category is called as continuous beam. We can say the beam is continuous if the beam is having more than two supports. Once again I will repeat this point. If the beam is having more than two supports, then it is a continuous beam. As you can see in the diagram, at point A we have an hinge support, at point B we have a roller support, at C it is a simple support and D is an hinge support. This beam is having more than two supports, so it is a continuous beam. Then sixth category is called as the fixed beam. If both the ends at A and B the beam is fixed, then it is called as an fixed beam. The difference between cantilever beam and the fixed beam is, in cantilever beam the one end is fixed, other end is free, but in the fixed beam both the ends are fixed. So these are the 6 different types of beams. So once again I will quickly go through. The first one is called as a simply supported beam where both the ends are simple supported. The second one is cantilever beam where the one end is fixed, other end is free. The third one is propped cantilever where one end is fixed, other end is simple support or it can be a roller support. In overhanging beam, the one end is either a hinged support or roller support, but the beam is extended. In single overhanging, the beam is extended at one part. In double overhanging, the beam is extended at both the ends. When it comes to the continuous beam, the beam is having more than one support, as we can see in the diagram. Then in the fixed beam, both the ends are fixed. Thank you.